Navigating the world as a young man can be exceptionally confusing in today's political and economic landscape. On one hand, you have grown up with the illusion of being told you live in the land of the free and home of the brave. And on the other, every mentor and economic incentive has your life planned and mapped out for you, as if you never had a choice. And realities of a 40-hour work week, retirement funds, rising taxes, the decreasing value of the dollar, and working of minimum 2 jobs just to get by start to set in, and subconsciously this pesters the minds of young men. They feel there is something illogical and wrong with these contradictory messages being fed to them, and this often results in impulsive decision making. Young men naturally seek status and power, and when they realize they virtually have none, due to their inability to say no to an employer offering the highest bid, this can result in hedonistic activities such as drugs, partying, or escapism through video games. They cannot say no because they are aware, deep down, there is no other option. The instinct of motivated young men can be quelled with the correct status fulfillment coercions, which are rewarded by a financial system. This has been a slow but subversive process, taking only a few generations to completely neuter the population. Most people do not have the ability, skills, or resources to truly provide for themselves, and these skills have been lost due to short-sighted older generations that selfishly and stupidly sold this ability of theirs and their children for mere modern conveniences. Young men are naturally possessed by a need to boast their status and ability to obtain resources to signal to other men their supposed competency. This powerful instinct is easily controlled, however, when carefully calculated economic incentives are put in place. Shiny new cars and new houses can be obtained with minimal effort if you are simply willing to take a few seconds to skim through and hastily sign a couple of 30-plus year contracts that legally chains you to the financial system. Even those who believe they are being financially responsible by finding a mentor are all too commonly exploited for their naivete. As the saying goes, more money, more problems. A country's economic incentives via law is a direct tell to what it thinks of its people. Your dictators think of you like cattle, and this is evident from the fact that a series of red numbers on your birth certificate is a direct security on the New York Stock Exchange.
The Bible of business on the earth. Uniform Commercial Code. Uniform Commercial Code is based directly on Vatican canon law, on the Roman canon law. Consequently, when a ship pulls into port, it pulls in and stops in its berth. The ship is now in its berth. Because it is on the law of the high seas, or commercial maritime, UCC commercial law rules the seas. So when the ship pulls into its berth, the first thing the captain must do is to present a certificate of manifest to the port authorities of what is the value of your ship here. What are you doing? Consequently, when you are born, you come out of your mother's water. Therefore, you must have a birth certificate, a certificate of manifest, because you are a corporation-owned item. You are a human resource. This goes back to the German Nazi concept that every human coming out of their mother's water must be birthed. And therefore you have to have a certificate, a manifest, to see how much this individual is going to make for us in our new world order. I'm telling you that until you understand the laws, the symbols, the emblems, what these words mean, you're never going to suspect how far gone we really are. Did you know, for instance, that your birth certificate is a security on the stock exchange in the New York stock market? Did you know that? On your birth certificate, all birth certificates in this country, on the bottom, it will tell you this is printed on security papers. Do not accept if not on full color security paper. Then on the right hand corner, you will always have a series of numbers, red numbers, printed on the birth certificate. Those numbers are a security stock exchange number on the World Stock Exchange. Why? Because you are worth money to the international bank that bought you in 1930. We need to wake up. Greatest single enemy to this totalitarian system is a free people. A free people who can do their own thinking, investigate everything, and have the ability to confront the powers that be. And of course America was called the land of the free and the home of the brave. We are not free and we are not brave.
Your dictators think if you like employees, then must follow company policy. If your dictators promoted freedom, there would be economic incentives for it, such as economic reward for independence. Rather than promote financial freedom, there is material reward for debt accumulation. Rather than promote critical thinking, self-education, and homeschooling, there is free public school. Rather than promote self-defense and honor, there is status and victimhood and perceived oppression. Rather than promote discipline and meaning, there is shameless hedonism and nihilism. Modernity wants to domesticate you at every turn. Carefully observe these economic incentives designed to entrap you and ask, will this make me more dependent on the system, or will it make me more independent as an individual? Whichever answer gives you the incentive to be more independent is the answer that will inch you towards a little more freedom. Freedom is dangerous and involves risk-taking, new experiences, responsibility, and courage. People of today are appalled by the phenomenon of slavery, but in truth, slavery is comfortable, easy, familiar, and desirable by most. All slavery needs in order to function is compliance. Do not comply with your masters. Reject their change-disguised, essential incentives, and embrace the deep instinct to break free.